Hello everyone, my name is Nika and I'm here to teach you the secret to making your legs stronger while practicing yoga. Now this is the kind of strength that makes you a better mover, makes your legs more agile, more versatile, makes you strong in all kinds of positions and ranges, okay? And this is a concept that was taught to me by my instructor way back when. And if you're able to remind yourself to apply this to all the poses that you hold, not only will you make your legs stronger, but better yet, you will start to understand the concept of holding poses and stretching actively instead of passively, which is a very useful and important thing to know. So, what is the secret? The secret is dum, da, da, dum. It's in your feet. These are the 4 points on your feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. That I want you to be focusing on in all the poses it's applicable in. I want you to try to tense up your feet in a way where you'll be pushing into all the 4 points evenly, okay? If you're doing it correctly, then it should feel as if all the muscles in your feet are contracting evenly. See how I'm also creating a little bit of space in between the fingers? And the feet should be erect as well. Ha ha ha. So, once you've got that down, then I want you to push into your feet and push into the lower legs, okay? Spread that feeling of even muscle tension into your lower legs, okay? You should also feel like you're wrapping your muscles around the bones, okay? Once we've got that down, once our feet and the lower legs are tense evenly, then we bring that feeling and we push up into the knees, okay? We're not contracting the front of the knee nor just the back of the knees. We're contracting the whole knees, okay? So once we've got that down, then we push into the upper legs all the way up into the hips, okay? We're feeling that even tension, we're contracting all the muscles and we're wrapping the muscles around the bones and the joints, okay? And the end result should feel like all the muscles in your legs are contracted, okay? Your whole legs or your whole leg is active, okay? And you feel that connection from the feet all the way up to your hips, okay? And relax. So let's just do this one more time just to make sure that we've got it down. So we're pushing all into the 4 points. We're contracting the feet are erect. We push that feeling into the lower legs. Then we contract the knees, the upper legs, and the hips, okay? So we had a small interruption, but not to worry, we'll just get right back into it. Yes, my haircut's a little bit different. It is a different day, but what are you gonna do? So, this concept that I explained to you, right, of this even tension throughout your legs, of this even contraction of all the muscles throughout your legs, from your feet to your hip, you should try to, or you should replicate this feeling throughout all the poses that you do, or whenever it's applicable, okay? Especially the standing poses. And this is what it means to stretch or hold poses actively, right? You can apply the same concept to your upper body as well, right? But maybe I'll just do a different video on that later, okay? Active stretching, passive stretching. See the difference? Okay, and now let me show you some examples of how I would apply this concept to some of the poses that we do in yoga. So the first pose we're going to be doing is a forward bend called the wind blowing pose. And we start with contracting the feet, pushing into the 4 points, pushing into the lower legs, the knees, the upper legs, the hips. We make a micro bend in the knees so we protect our knees while we do the pose. Okay, we squeeze those muscles in the hips and we bend forward. Okay, it should feel as if you're pushing into the feet, into those 4 points with your hips, and your whole leg is active. There's a connection between your feet and your hips, and you're pushing into the floor with the hips through those 4 points. Next, we have the famous warrior's pose. And here the concept is basically the same. We contract our feet in a way that we're pushing into the 4 points. We contract our lower legs, the knees, upper legs, and hips. And we're pushing into the feet, into the 4 points with our hips. We raise our hands, okay? And we feel that our legs and our feet are just extensions of our hips. We push into the floor, into those 4 points with our hips. Next up, we have the wide-legged forward bend, and we're doing the same thing. We're contracting the feet, the legs, the hips. We're making a micro bend in the knees to protect the knees, okay? And we bend over, okay? The most important thing I want you to remember here is that you're pushing with your hips into the 4 points in the feet, and you're feeling the connection in the legs, okay? We're pushing into the floor with our hips, and our legs are super active, okay? This is the way to get strong legs. Now we have the sitting forward bend. Even though we cannot stand on the floor, we can still push into those 4 points, okay? So we contract the feet, the legs, the knees, and the hips, and we bend over, okay? Here, we're also pushing to those 4 points in the feet with our hips. Okay, we should feel strong here. Yoga is not about just stretching, it's also about strengthening. You should feel strong and balanced in every pose that you do. Here we have the asymmetrical seated forward bend, and we're doing the same thing here. We're contracting the feet in both legs. We're bending forward and we're pushing down into the floor with our hips in the right leg, and we're pushing into the 4 points in the feet into the left leg as well. Okay? We're feeling strong in the pose. Okay guys, that concludes the video. I trust that I've conveyed the concept in a comprehensible manner. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe.